What's popular YouTube? Another day, another demo. And today we are ready to do HUNter. I just watched the demo. It was the second half of Mirage. We go into OT as well and watch a little T-side on top of it because it was just so fun to watch. There were some great rounds. I spent a lot of time in the beginning talking about actually Nico and G2 and how HUNter plays so well, but his team doesn't win. He was the best player in the final of IM Katowice on both teams by a huge margin. On his own team, 1.27 HLTV rating. Next highest was like Monacy, almost 0.30 down. So it was an outstanding performance from HUNter despite losing, but that is the story of HUNter. He's been HLTV top 20 twice. He has won an MVP. CS Summit 5, he won the MVP and literally didn't win the event. And that's the only time he would have had a chance to win an HLTV level trophy event, and he has never done that. So this is the year G2 will win a final. I'm going to go ahead and say that. In fact, I think they'll win 2 lands this year. That's my prediction. But for now, we're going to set up why that is, and it's partly because of G2's secret weapon, HUNter. What's good, everybody? I hope you had a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody has been keeping in touch with their families. I hope everybody is happy and healthy and are ready to continue on with more demos. We did Brokey already. We did Monacy, and there's a bunch more Kato demos to do. Of course, right now we've got ESL Pro League running. That is actually a LAN, which I didn't know was going to be the case because I think for a lot of people, they didn't expect for it to be possible based on how late everything was announced, but they did get it together. So I might tune in. You know, I thought it was online. I was like, you know what? I'm going to skip it. You know, I'm going to skip it. Like, I'm sure it's going to be great. We're not here to watch Monacy play, but hey, I mean, hey, if he wants to steal the show, why not? Okay. We're here to watch HUNter, who is G2's secret weapon, right? I mean, this guy is the only player on HLTV that has two top 15 placings, let alone top 20. 2 top 15 placings while he's played on G2 in the HLTV top 20. He has literally a tournament MVP from CS Summit 5 that he won over Mouse Sports that beat G2 because G2 don't win finals. And he has 0 tournament wins listed on HLTV. 1 A-tier tournament where the actual prize purse was not that bad. It was pretty good. But overall, no big event wins for HUNter. And he's got to be the only player on HLTV who has that. Again, you know, the funny part is, I mean, we got Nico as the blockbuster buy of last year for G2. But without HUNter playing as well as he did and getting into that top 15 placing, G2 would have had 0 players with a rating or ranking that high. And genuinely, I know they're cousins, but, you know, it wouldn't make sense for Nico to come to a team that wasn't at least somewhat competitive despite them being cousins, right? It was HUNter's goal to climb up to where Nico was at, but not only did he do that, he created a beacon that actually was appealing for Nico to come into. That actually made sense because of how decent the team was. So we move forward into 2020, and HUNter does the same thing. Now, for me, in my top 20 placings, I've always had HUNter higher than HLTV has had. And this year, he's already off to a great start. He was number 10 in the top 10 players of IM Katowice. So, of course, Nico was a higher placing than he was. And for some reason, there seems to be this thing where Nico's having a couple of weird big moments, bad moments in finals. Even though I don't think anybody really thinks of Nico as a finals choker, it feels like he's suddenly getting this weird reputation for it, which I don't like personally because, I mean, first of all, he had like a 1.50 rating throughout the groups, 1.26 rating across the event, and just one bad series in the final with a couple of moments that were questionable, or the, you know, the op moments and whatever. And then you had the Deagle moment at the major, and it feels like there's some kind of, I don't want to say a fake narrative, but it's kind of weird because obviously Nico has tournament wins. He has really amazing performances in finals. Maybe there is something where the doubt is starting to sink in or something like that. But of course, worst time for that to happen. I personally don't believe it at all. I don't think that there's anything to think about. We're here to watch HUNter go, though. Let me just see if anything interesting happens in this round. So HUNter's actually waiting for his teammate to wrap around all the way through spawn. And you know when the bomb gets planted this late, they made the right call. okay, because they have lots of time. And now huNter's making sure that he can't cross right and put a ton of pressure on triple in case he's at triple. And so now I think the idea is either the player is at default or he did sneak across, but probably on default and maybe under Balk. Those are kind of the two most natural places that they would go to. And, yep. Oh, and Twist 1. Oh my god, I remember that. Oh my god, I remember that. There were so many clutches, man. There were so many clutches this game. That was actually a nasty play by Twist. He looked up and saw through the gap in the wood on under Balk to take out Alexi. Yeah. And we saw quietly basically throughout this game. The story of this game is the guy who took no spotlight whatsoever. It was the whole Guardian device thing, meme, about how you don't remember a Guardian flick or a device flick or whatever it is. I don't remember what it was. huNter basically was getting 2 kills around every round throughout this game, all the way up into OT at 57 kills. He was the best player by an enormous margin across the final over the whole team. I'm not even joking. I mean, I think he was 1.27 HLTV rating on the final, all 3 maps, and I'm talking 120 rounds, okay? So that is 4 maps full worth of rounds. And there was potential for more. So he had a 1.27 rating across that. G2 won 0 maps. And, you know, if huNter was like Shiro or something, then you'd be like, yeah, well, that happens. huNter is not. He's a rifler. If huNter gets a lot of kills, that's supposed to be really good impact. You know what I mean? There's no other way to look at it. All right. It's quite a quiet climb back. Crazy how many small moments that FaZe were able to win that made it so G2 could not. Yes. Okay. To finish my thoughts. I do think that Nico thing, I don't buy it. I think it's, I don't know, some kind of thing that's developed. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's so well. First flash dodge. Then he calls for his teammates flash, runs with it. Perfect timing on the peak. No problem whatsoever. Can they win off this? Uh-oh. Weak gun. Uh-oh. Imagine. Imagine for a second. No, okay. Kind of crazy they even brought this back, to be honest, but it was weird because everyone wanted to slap a label on this event. Oh, on this thing. Oh, it's the Battle of the Chokers, which I think actually was kind of, you know, maybe fair. But they couldn't figure out, is Alexi B overrated and not calling a good game? Is our FaZe choking Karrigan, etc.? Or whatever. Everybody wanted to stop some kind of negative label on this series. And to be honest, what we saw was a great series that went back and forth, and we saw good things out of both teams. I don't know if you could say, I mean, I personally thought G2 called great across this series. I think, unfortunately, Nico did have a really weird final, you know, that wasn't great. So that's a big reason. But fine margins regardless, right? Extremely fine margins. And between huNter and m0NESY, they almost did all the carrying necessary, seriously. So, listen, FaZe played a hell of an event, too. They did the impossible, right? They had Rain have a positive COVID test. Rops has a positive COVID test. They have JKS coming in for a sub. Don't know for how long. All the way to winning the event. And JKS is comfortable enough to play as well as he did. It was a great thing. It was beautiful. I mean, I think both ways. You know, if G2 win the event, there's so many storylines, so many narratives that are wonderful. But if FaZe winning is the same thing. And we were, you know, 11 rounds, I think, separated the two teams. So, yeah. All right. huNter's off to a number of positions. We saw in the m0NESY demo, it was versus VP in the m0NESY game. His opening stage match was versus VP, and he was opping Mirage CT side. Now we're seeing huNter play in similar spots as he is, because they're just moving around depending on if m0NESY's starting B. What we're actually getting is the other half of this, right? Because we've seen m0NESY start B, but we don't see who gets replaced. So a clean kill from huNter. Honestly, a highlight to his game is, honestly, his headshot, his HSP, his crosshair placement is great. It's immaculate. A huge reason he can multi-frag is because when he gets that first kill, he's kind of like Twist. You know, when he gets that first kill, it's so clean. He's never in a stressed position. His mouse, his where he's standing, you know, he's very comfortable. So that first guy is almost always dead right away. Wow, what a play! How did JKS scale that well? Jax actually let him up, I think. But then Jax, who played under Balk, I think every single round this half. Honestly, he did really well. He played under Balk. I've never seen someone play under Balk that many times in a row in a professional match, but, you know, Jax was making a case for it. Obviously, under Balk is a great spot. You know, if it wasn't a great spot, then that would have been ridiculous that Jax played there. But it's still a counterable spot. You can still molly it from every single place, so it's not something that you want to copy and paste over and over again. It's spammable, it's mollyable, it's nadeable. It works really well because your team can flash for you. You can flash for yourself really easily. You can smoke yourself out and sit there. You can smoke to cross to between that and default. You know, you kind of have interesting options if the pressure comes from both Palace and A ramp. It gets messy sometimes, but if you got the movement, you can take the fight to Palace if you think it's going to be a one-person split through Palace and then push them and then take over Palace control through the ladder. That's something that the under Balk spot that, you know, can offer that no other spot really can. Oh, interesting. Hunter actually smoked the window. Oh! Oh my god. Hunter smoked the window. Wow. And since Twist just took a blind shot through it, he literally jumped through just to punish that and put him in a 2v1. When I first saw this, I thought, well, it must have been FaZe that smoked the window. That's pretty good. He doesn't care. That's the kind of play that you can't really make because someone told you to. You know what I mean? That's the kind of play that you got to make if you feel it in that moment. That we saw Hunter take just now. Man, the ball's on this guy to throw that HE. Unreal. Such a dangerous game. He really wants to win this, but he also recognizes that it's getting dangerous. I can't believe Hunter just switched to the HE. But it's that kind of fluid reasoning that makes Hunter who he is. And the reason he can multi-frag again. Like I said, he's never stressed, but he doesn't just fall asleep on an angle. He's not just chilling all the time. He doesn't like sit somewhere, get a kill, get another kill. Instead, he goes from decision to decision so fast. I mean, there's one round that sticks out of my memory where he was playing on top of B, on top of B balcony, and then B apartments. And the way he can't even. I can't remember if I did a demo on it, so I don't want to talk about a round that I can't remember that well. But he basically just like, you know what I'm saying? Hunter. Okay, so yeah, Hunter was 113 and 90 with 90 ADR and a 1.27 rating across the final, which is again 120 rounds. His next best teammate was Monacy, who was 88 and 81 with a 1.05 rating. And then everyone else is below that with 69 ADR. Everyone else is below that. And Nico actually had 81 ADR across the final as well, which is not bad. So it was just a couple of weird moments again. Over on FaZe, so Hunter is the best player in the server, right? Let alone Twist was the best performer on FaZe with a 1.22 rating and a 90 ADR, 97 kills. But yeah, man, Hunter was genuinely. I mean, it could have been such an embarrassing loss if Hunter didn't play as well as he did. Which I know that's not anything they're concerned about right now. It's just more losses. All that matters is if it's a loss or it's a win. Doesn't matter how at this point for G2. They just need to get a win. They will win a LAN this year. I don't think that's a hot take. Is that crazy? They're gonna win a LAN this year. They're not ending this year without winning a LAN. You know, here's my hot take. They'll even win 2. They're gonna win 2 LANs this year. Oh my god, imagine. Nico actually jumped there just in case Twist pushed up. But Twist played kind of back, and actually there was a chance. Okay, now let's start talking about the match a little bit. Interesting. This is the same setup they used last time, except Alexibi was the one holding the nade on Get Right. And then I don't know if they use the nade smoke there or if they're just trying to damage anybody who's up close. That's one they go off of spawns to do. Bomb gets dropped off cat. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, don't worry. It goes to OT, okay? Forget it. Even even gods have a hair out of place, as we say. We like to say, the biz. Alright? You know? Even you know what I mean? Even a cheetah can trip. Huh? You know what I'm saying? Even a hunter can whiff. Okay? Forget it. Things happen. Does this go... Oh, man. This could have been the... They could have won 16-14, though, huh? Was this the round? Oh, JKS wins that, too. And that's why we talk about JKS. We don't talk about the negatives, the G2, all this stuff. We talk about JKS, all right? Forget it. Oh, my God. They could have won. They could have won the whole match. Oh, they lost like that. It goes to OT. Relax. They had another chance. This is funny because this was the absolutely free moment. Okay, let's see how Hunter does something useful inside of this round. Now he continuously, quietly, acts as a glue for all these different setups and makes sure it's not to be the first player to, get to die and weaken the position of G2. This angle is just hidden from chair and watching cat at the same time. And he's smoking the bottom of connector, which is a really key smoke for your A players. The later you go into the round, the harder it is to defend the connector every second that passes. So there's one chair. Don't know if it was Hunters being spotted, but he's being very aware of the bench peak as well. There's a number of positions to attack from. Listen, it's a great spot to be in as a CT. I like basically all these fights. I honestly think they're slightly CT favored for the most part. Maybe that guy who comes up inside of connector, that's where it gets a little sketchy. But outside of that, when you hold this angle and a player comes up cat, they look into connector, you usually see them looking the other way first. So that's a really big sign. And Hunter actually stays on cat. So this puts pressure on front of triple. Oh, and JKS will end up getting this kill, but they've still got 3 up. And there's just no time to plant. So JKS trying his damnedest. I'm stealing this angle. And Hunter still has 2 very important grenades on this round. Especially versus B attacks, they'll be in a really good spot. Having not used these earlier on. I can't remember which way this attack comes. So the molly's enormous for trying to interrupt the scaling. It looks like it's the A play that's getting shut down. Between Nico and Jax, they're doing everything. Nearly a full house. 1 man left and Rops. The thing why is find a wait, because if Rops plants on the back of triple, Hunter can spam it. If he plants on the left side, Hunter can spam it. If he plants on default, Hunter can nade it. And the molly. And there's just no way, there's just too much pressure. There's no way for him to do anything there. So really important to just not overplay your hand. When you get to that CT spawn location, consider it an outpost. Okay. couple of times we missed that jump. Very dangerous searching around the smoke, but he's the guy you want doing this, you know. Any cat player, like think about some of the other cat players that we have, right? Think about Config and how he would play in this position. He's a rifler, but you would trust him to search. It's a little bit more dangerous to do that with an op, because if someone, you know, comes up on your right or whatever pops up, you can't really adjust. You can't just stay out there the whole time. Opper plays back, sitting in here. The rifler can move forward a little bit and search a little bit more. But they have to be a really good rifler. I mean, straight up, that's it. They have to be one of your star riflers. You don't put just any man on cat. So there's a late approach on mid here from FaZe, and window gets smoked off. So what will the adjustment be? Now they have to be slightly aware of the thought that window could be attacked late, I think. And Nico only has his one flash. Hunter only has his one flash. So this means that they're, I think, going to try to just fight instead of, you know, they can't really retake from the A site in this position. So Nico's kind of out in the open as well. He likes playing off the corner of the, off that smoke, and Hunter will find one inside a connector. Look for a second. Rops is up there inside of the palace, and Jax is waiting for him. So that was a perfect situation to trade down material, because right now they're still, you know, 3v2. And as long as they keep trading, there's going to be no way to plan. It's the exact same situation as last rounds. Let's watch the first 4 rounds of CT overtime here. But you can see Hunter just finds those really small but annoying moments to take risks. The rest of the time, he's not doing anything that looks gimmicky, right? He's just playing a spot really well. He's searching between 2 or 3 angles, kind of carefully, being very aware of his utility, where he puts it down, and just never looks pressed. Always looks really comfortable. Re-smoke down from connector. Now they saw Nico peek with that, so they know he didn't throw that smoke. So this will make it harder for Hunter to try to get something out of this. And Jax dies under balcony. See, Hunter's still going to go through. Oh, it is the perfect timing, actually. JKS not ready for that, but Karrigan takes him out. That's a tough spot because you're in a losing spot. You're like on this retake. I guess Hunter could have waited there because they have this, you know, A-ramp flank and whatever, but Hunter did find a spot to get out. I honestly don't even know where Karrigan traded him from. So we'll see about this. He'll clear this. Okay. And then, oh, Karrigan, what a clutch. That was actually a sick round from Karrigan. What the hell? That was so well done. You even got the A-ramp guy earlier on. This molly is just for the top boxes on mid, as that's a key location of attack from the T side on defaults. Just to get behind those boxes, you re-smoke window from there. You can't really be approached from there if you have it. And sometimes from the CT side, it's just posturing, saying, hey, if you don't molly these top boxes, then we know... Sorry, if you don't smoke this molly on top boxes, we know you're not even there, right? We know it's actually just a fake. So it's a call out if you decide to leave. This won't be easy. Underplaying this because they're at a disadvantage here, because this is not an easy fight to win. Oh my god. Karrigan peeks right in front. The slight adjustment, just a micro adjustment there from Hunter. And maybe even some more damage on Van. There are so many players up that it's likely that someone could have played there, but now it's just not possible to recover this position. Man, 3 kills. A good try, but everyone else falls. There's a bit of overlap here between, you know, Alexi B, him, and now they have a cat guy this round. Nobody, I think Gravity's heavier this game. That's the only thing I can think. Oh, in the double push B halls. I like these. I like when these are called because, you know, as long as Alexibi has such a strong angle once he gets to this point, and he can fight for it if he wants to. But once you get to this position, the map gets so strong for CT side. I think like just way too strong. Okay, so Alexibi, I think he actually saw Karrigan back there, and they had a whiff battle. I remember seeing that in the tournament, and then Hunter's attention is still up here on Cat, but now they can have 3 CTs on A dedicated. They can worry a lot less about B because even if they were to go B through Cat, for example, it's less attractive because Alexibi was just spotted pushed halls. So you don't really want to enter the site off Cat when you know that someone's there pushed halls. And in kind of an interesting move, you know, they might not expect Hunter to stay on Cat in this position because Alexibi was just up there pushed off halls. Now, the value of Cat doesn't actually change because he did that. And in fact, if they forget about it, then that can cause him problems. But okay. That's why we don't talk. That's why we don't talk about Hunter, because there's just no time. You know what I mean? By the time you want to talk about him, the guy's dead. Karrigan was hopping. Okay, I remember seeing that from Karrigan's POV. Just instant. I mean, let's just watch some more rounds. Not too many. Relax. We're just gonna watch a couple. Okay, this AK is hard as fuck. Team Liquid, baby. Uh-oh. We're just finishing out at the OT, okay? That's it. I gotta do that. I gotta right-click the flash. I usually go and just, like, you know, launch it down but not jump over. That's a better way to do it, the way he does it there. Oh, he saw little feet. Wow, is he just gonna walk up? Wow, he is. Oh, he's going so far. Oh my god, he's all the way up. Now there could be under balk. JKS is always under balk. Oh, that's actually twist, but that's the kill. Oh my god, look at this lurk. He just walked it the whole time, and that player is exposed now. I don't know if it was JKS and CT who just showed himself. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They can't kill CT. They don't have any smoke for it either. I guess Brokey rotated over to JKS as well. Oh, they recovered that. So I thought it was such a strong opening. I thought that was going to be it. Even though Twist got the dink. That's usually the key player to get on A site. Because if you kill him, everyone else can be smoked out. This is interesting. There's 25 seconds. They have to go A in this spot, but they could take their time still. And what are they thinking? Did anybody rotate out into the site? This smoke helps him clear under balk. Oh, that might be a genius smoke by Monesi. Wow, that's really good because he can clear under balk and he can block himself from CT spawn in case there's an op, and he can plant the bomb in that smoke after. So that was a really good smoke from Monesi. Oh, this position. Look how low Alexi is, too. Oh my god, if it wasn't a headshot, he was dead. I mean, delaying the inevitable, sure, but... Oh, Hunter's not taking any risks here. So here he goes for a hard bounce, because if he does the right-click bounce and it's a pop flash, it can still work. But the hard bounce is even more annoying if you left-click it, because if Hunter swings and it's a hard bounce, it's harder for the person on the other side of that to know when it's going to explode, and they might turn away right away because they were so far they didn't know it was a hard bounce. There could be a number of things that happen. So sometimes you want to throw it left-click, even though you're really close to it, because it just starts hitting the walls, and that's how you win, by terrifying your opponent, basically. Then they start making bad decisions. Then they turn, or they tuck, or they hide. Right-clicking a flash is not always the best option. Hunter's close, or Twist is close, I should say. So Hunter is an interesting spot because either they might not clear him, or he can walk in a window if they leave. Yeah, I don't know if this is... Yeah, so he clears window now, and he can take this better angle versus connector. Just super solid on the timing. Wow, okay, the last player too. All right, that's a good one to end on before this video gets too long. There was a lot of OTs, right? It was almost a full other match in the OTs. I think there was 27 rounds overall. So we'll stop there, but that's going to be HUNter. HUNter x HUNter. Maybe do anime themed. Could we do a HUNter x HUNter thumbnail for this? That'd be yeah, let's do that. Maybe I'll think of a HUNter x HUNter title. We'll see when the video comes out. You'll know. All right, I'll try to do that. Okay. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. The secret weapon of G2 HUNter, who's just, let's look again at the stats here. Also sensitivity 2.17 at 400. All this stuff I grabbed from the pro settings. Updated their page. GOAT resolution, of course, 1280 by 960. Born in 96, and top 10 player out of Cato with obviously again the best finals performance by a big margin over an enormous amount of maps. I mean, 5 maps end with less maps rounds. 5 maps sometimes end with less rounds than this. Okay, maybe that's never happened, but probably close, honestly. This is maxed rounds. This is crazy. That's a sweet one. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. HUNter working the CT side and a little bit of the T side as well. Who should we do next? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, be safe. Looking for a plate, that's why the dogs up early. With it white beard, eating like a McFlurry. I ain't got time to chill, I'm in a hurry. P the game, I got it for my daddy ho. Smoking dope, but saying raps out on the patio. My boss said you ain't